Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
So we've been going through a hard time, me and my husband, for the last 2 years. And I've been watching your show, and I just really need some help on what we should do to kind of get our credit up and get out of this hole.
So what's going on? Tell us more.
Well, last year in December, we had a house fire.
Oh.
Wow.
And that was only after an eviction the previous year. So it has killed us.
The house fire, was it complete? Did it take everything?
It was not. It was a double wide that we had on land contract. So it ended up in just a bunch of messy paperwork and us not getting, our house or any of the money we put into it.
So what's going on right now? You had the eviction, you had the house fire.
Now, since then, we have been trying to just save money, and so we moved to Ohio and we got a good job down there. And that was a rental ending in disaster.
Okay. Why?
Well, the landlord had hooked up the gas wrong. Some children came through and smashed out all my front windows, and she wouldn't get them replaced for over a month. So we ended up leaving that, lost our security on that. So it's just been one thing after another. And I'm just trying, I watch you guys, and I'm trying to figure out, live below your means.
So you're in Saginaw, Michigan now?
Yes.
So from Ohio back to Michigan then. What's in Michigan, family?
Yeah, yep. We're born and raised here.
Okay. All right.
What kind of work are you guys doing? What's causing this kind of bouncing around?
Yeah, so my husband does concrete, and so in the spring, in the winter, we kind of have a slowdown, too, every year. Sometimes he can stay on depending on how big the contractor is, but most of the time it's a layoff in the winter. And so that kind of slowed us down.
Okay, but he's been in concrete for a while. He's been in concrete for a while?
Yeah, about 20 years.
Okay, so then we know that when winter comes, it gets slow, right? So what have you guys determined that during those winter months is a good move for him to kind of pivot into?
He actually has like a handyman that we run.
Mm-hmm.
It's
okay. So what does he make a year, and what do you make a year?
So he makes about $750 a week. Depending on how slow the winter is.
Mm-hmm.
Yearly, it's a little bit fluctuating, but
okay.
That's what
So
we're
let's
getting
call
right
it.
now.
I'll call it $45,000 to be conservative. What do you make?
Yeah, so what I was actually going to ask you about, I had a catering business I was running out of our kitchen that burned along with it.
Mm-hmm.
So
the business didn't burn, the kitchen did.
That's right. So I haven't been working.
Why?
All my stuff's in storage, so I'm paying for storage.
You have a kitchen now, don't you?
I do not. That's why I'm calling in today.
Where are you living now?
Our credit got destroyed, and we have been bouncing around.
Now, where are you living now?
We are living in an RV, rent-to-own.
Why would you rent to own an RV?
Well, we couldn't get approved for a rental apartment.
Because your credit, is that the whole discussion around the credit?
We maxed out our credit cards after the fire, and it's been, it's just been hard because our credit score went down so quickly.
And you didn't have renter's insurance?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So what I'm hearing here, and Dave will jump in, is it's just a series of very, very bad decisions. And they keep catching up with you. But here's the thing. I'm not convinced that you guys are learning from these mistakes. I kind of feel like you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And it's to no avail. So
right. That's why I'm kind of calling Dave. I'm like, you got to know more than I do because something's going on.
Well, quit trying to jump in one jump out of the hole. So you went from eviction to I felt trapped into a bad deal on a trailer and and it burned. Then you take off running to Ohio for some ungodly reason. Nobody knows why. But then the place you move into there was a piece of crap, and you get in the same exact thing. And then you come back, and your answer to all of that was to rent an RV. Yep. None of these four things work. None of them work.
After I tried to get the apartments, and we kept
I know. Well, some apartment somewhere. I don't know what or where or who, but somebody without trying to. You don't need to own anything. You just need to get a rental, and you need to pile up cash, and you need to get on a rutting budget and get your pans back out and start cooking again.
Or doing
Right.
anything at this point.
Or working doing anything. Anything you can do is add some money to this equation, because if we can double your income, a lot of this starts to smooth out very, very quickly. If we can just increase your income, it starts to smooth out very quickly, and then slow down and quit. A lot of these decisions sound like you were very afraid and desperate when you made them.
I would say.
Yeah. And I can smell it, because I used to do that a lot. I have found that when I'm desperate, right after I get desperate, is when I get stupid.
Yeah.
And that kind of shows up in a pattern here. And it's not saying you're stupid. I'm just saying you did some stuff that's cost you. And admittedly, you told us that. And so what I want you to do is go find some very solid, predictable rental situation. And you don't have to do it by the weekend, but I do want you to do it this month. And move into that out of an RV, get your family settled in, get your stuff out of storage, quit paying storage to store stuff you should be making money with.
And I'm not convinced that you guys are steadily making $3,000 to $4,000 a month. I think that that's on a good month. So I want to make sure that both of you, him in the off times, has something steady, because I think the handyman thing is there, but
well, it can be steady if you fill it up.
Yeah.
But you got to fill it up.
Well,
it
he's
can't
had
be,
20 years.
It can't be I don't do anything, and I call that being a handyman.
Yeah.
It's handy to not do much. You can't do that. Okay,
That's right.
You got to be handyman in like 15 hours a day, and you can make really good money doing that. By the way, better than you're making in concrete.
That's true.
You could grow that business and get out of the concrete business completely.
You got to get out.
Handymen, a lot of them are making $100K right now. So you can set that business up and fill yourself up with taking care of rich people doing little tiny stuff they don't want to screw with, and going there dressed and nice and bathed and clean tools and clean shoes and take care of business and charge good money for a tiny little job, and you can really make a good living doing that if you build the business out. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's fine if you want to stay in concrete, but let's build it out enough that it's handy, that you making $2,000 when you're not doing concrete.
I want wifey working too. Wifey needs to get in.
She needs to get those pots and pans out, baby.
I don't think I don't think it's the pots and pans. I think that because there's only so much catering you're going to be able to do out of a double wide. I think
No.
Needs
It's an RV. You're not doing any.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to get out of there into something where there's a kitchen.
That's
and
true.
either get a job or get that kitchen fired up.
Yeah.
One of the two, or both. Go make a bunch of money and slow down on your big decisions. And when your heart rate's up and there's a little bit of sweat on your upper lip and in the palms of your hands that indicates fear, don't make a decision, because you're getting ready to do something dumb. All of you, everybody listening, including me. Fear does not lead to good decisions. And desperation does not lead to good decisions. And scared and stuck and forced to, and these kinds of words come out of your mouth right before you do something dumb. And I've done a bunch of it, Brittany, so I'm not picking on you, honey. I know where you are. And we'll put you guys into Financial Peace University right now and get you started on learning how to handle money. We got to get the income side of the equation and the housing both stabilized for you to be able to prosper and move forward. The instability of your housing situation and your income is what has caused you to be sitting in this crisis. Those two things combined. And you get those two things fixed, you're going to find this thing stabilized pretty quick. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.